Today we're doing a timing chain on this 2000 S10 2.2. Now there's a ton of videos on YouTube on how to do this, but there's none that I've seen that actually fixes the problem. They just replace it with the factory tensioner. They sell a kit here. Right here's your factory timing chain and tensioner. And we can see here what happened to this one. It is making some awful noises. And here is the upgraded eliminator kit. This one does not have the tensioner that can fail. And here's the part number. This is a lot better fix than just replacing this. That's bound to fail. Now another thing, when doing these timing chain kits, you have this little oil galley plug with a little hole in it, and over time they're known to get stopped up with anything and everything. It does say on the paper that comes with it to replace it, so I just go ahead and do it, and I'll show you that. Here's the paper telling you about replacing the old galley plug here, and there's the new one they send with it. Usually the way I remove them is I take me a just any type of house screw or something and screw in there and get me a pair of vice grips and pull it out. Also, when doing these timing kits, it's best to replace this gear. And from the past, I can never find a puller that can pull this properly, so I usually end up just taking a heat gun and heating this thing up good and prying it off there. It usually works pretty good. Okay, finally got the cranks gear off. I used my little pry bar right there and heat gun and just heat it up and slowly pry, then heat it up and slowly pry it even more. But I also got the plug. Here's the way I got the galley plug out. Just ran me a screw in there with a little grease on it to keep any metal shavings from, and then vice grip it and take a hammer and kind of persuade it out. It's probably not ideal, but it works for me. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get this new gear knocked on and oil this chain up and get it on there. Got the new crank sprocket on and the new galley plug knocked in. I just took me some Q-tips and cleaned it out, and it took me a little socket and knocked the new one in. And I took me a socket and knocked this on. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get the chain and all the other stuff on. Okay, got the new chain in, everything torqued down. This bolt right here, I usually put a little blue Loctite on it, and it torques to 96 foot-pounds. And make sure my marks are lined up and everything is ready to go. Now I'm gonna get this cover put back on and be right back. I want to show you this one quick tip I had while I'm cleaning this cover up. When you go to remove the timing cover, go ahead and remove these little studs. Makes it a lot easier to pull off and everything. It uses a E5 inverted Torx, but it makes it a lot easier. And a lot of people change these to bolts, but whatever works. Okay, got the timing cover on there. I got a good bead down there in the oil pan, and I use this stuff right here. Works pretty good. I just hand tightened everything right now, put my studs back in, and let it set for an hour and come back and torque everything. The studs on the bottom torque to, I believe, 89 inch-pounds, and the timing cover bolts torqued to 97 inch-pounds. But that's where I'm gonna finish off here. I just want to make this video in case somebody's to help somebody out, because I've seen people do the new timing chains with the tensioner and they fail shortly after. But this one right here will have no problems. It's just no more plastic, and I haven't seen a whole lot of people talk about them, and they work, and they make it a lot more reliable. But any questions or comments, just let me know. I thank y'all for watching.